Hello, 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 hello. So, a follower of mine said that I should begin this video with saying, I need to get something off my chest. Ba-dum-bum. So there you have it. No, but all jokes aside, I wanted to talk about my explant surgery. Because about a month ago, 25 days to be exact, I had my breast implants removed. Now the reason why, I'm not going too much into detail why I decided to remove my implants. I have a whole video of me talking about that reason. And there's a link to that video in the description box below. So if you haven't watched that, then I suggest that you first watch that video and then come back here so that you're all up to speed, up to date, that you know what's up. Because there are several reasons why I wanted to remove my implants. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the surgery, my recovery. You're going to see how my scar tissue is healing, and you're going to see before and after footage. And of course, I will answer the question if it's a good thing, what I decided, if I think I made the right decision by removing my implants. Sit back, relax. I will be speaking softly so that people who are not really into ASMR but are interested in this topic can also view this video. Alright, so relax. Here we go. So let me take you back 25 days ago. The morning of my surgery. You're always supposed to be sober when you're going for full anesthesia. So I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't eat anything. My surgery was at 11, and I had something to eat at 5 o'clock in the morning because that's what the nurse suggested that I would do. And that worked really well, so that I wasn't too hungry. And that morning, for me, it was really important to try and not to freak out. So to remain calm, breathe through my abdomen, just live in the moment and letting go of the idea of control, because there is no control. I have no control. The only thing that I could control is that the decision, making the decision to have this surgery, and I did, and I 100% was in it. So I just needed to stay relaxed, and yeah, it worked really well. Just breathing and letting everything go. And we arrived. My boyfriend at the time, we broke up. And it has nothing to do with my breasts getting smaller, of course. But we broke up a few weeks after surgery. That's a different thing. My boyfriend at the time, he drove me to the surgery, the clinic. And when we were there, I could feel my anxiety building a little bit. in the waiting room, and I needed to get before photos of my chest. And then finally the moment came where I was going into the surgery area, and my ex-boyfriend wasn't allowed to be there. So he went to stay with relatives that they lived very close. And I could get changed into just this hospital gown. I know that they said that I needed to put it on like a jacket, like a bathrobe. But I put it on like you see in the movies because that's just what I remembered. So I had it backwards with the opening in the back, and that wasn't really convenient. So I made a little bit of a mistake there. I needed to wait a little while. That was the most nerve-wracking. They've put me on an IV, so a needle in my hand. My blood pressure was measured every 10 minutes or so. And then finally they said, okay, we're going to take you to the operation room. And that, of course, was really scary. But 10 years ago, I got my implants in. So I kind of remembered what general anesthesia felt like. You don't feel a thing. It's just blink and then it's gone. So I knew that being really afraid of it is useless because you really don't have a clue that it even happened. So yeah, I went to the operation room and they said, okay, just lay on this table. So I had to change from the bed to the table, and they strapped my arms like a cross. That was a little bit scary, but I also remembered that was the same way as 10 years ago. And then they said, do you want to dream about something? And I said, yeah, I want to dream about Rome. And so the guy that put the mask over my face, he said, okay, Rome dreams coming up. And he put the mask over my face and I had to breathe. And in about 10 seconds, I was gone. I was a female surgeon, by the way. And I just said to her, I trust you and I surrender. I give you my body and I trust. My body is in your hands. And so I woke up. I think it took about 45 minutes, which is a lot shorter than when they were put in. I think it takes about 2 hours for the implants to go in, and 45 minutes to take them out. Of course, they checked if there was any capsule tissue that was hardened. So these were in my chest, and your body just creates like a spider web tissue around it because it's a foreign object, and your body is trying to protect itself by creating that layer of tissue. And they checked if there was tissue that was harder, capsulated, and I don't think that there was any hardened tissue. It was all just really spider webby soft, which is good. And so they took these out. Right here. And I woke up in a bed, and I looked to my right and I saw these next to me. So it became really real that these were not in my body anymore. They've been in my body for about 10 years. it's so weird to me to think that these were in my body for 10 years. And I could remember that I would feel weird bumps in my chest, right here. And those were actually the dots that are on the implants. I don't know why, but I could feel them more and more. I do think that the layer of these implants was shrinking, just was getting smaller. Because this is silicone, and your body just wants to get rid of all of that silicone, of that foreign tissue. It tries to break it down. And I think that this layer has already shrunken, and that in those 10 years, these little bumps have become more prominent, I think. So yeah, I woke up and I felt pretty miserable, really weak, tired, nauseous. I remember 10 years ago I had to stay the night after surgery because I was vomiting from anesthesia. So they gave me a medicine against nausea. And that worked well because I didn't have to throw up. I just felt really nauseous. And they said, you have to eat something before we can let you go home. But I really wasn't hungry. I really wasn't. So it was a battle. They first gave me an ice cream. And then I had to eat like an energy bar. And that was, I just shoved it in because I just wanted to go home. I remember that I was really hot. They would put this tube of hot air under my blankets, but I was just cooking. Like, I felt so hot, I was sweating. So finally I told a nurse, like, geez, can somebody remove that tube because it's getting so hot? And so they removed it. And I became more and more alert, more awake. And so finally I ate something, and they gave me something against the pain because I had really sharp pain when I became more alert. And then finally they said, okay, you can go home. And I remember the driving back was really, I felt miserable. That first day, I felt uncomfortable. When you feel so bad, you don't know how to position yourself. Everything feels just painful and uncomfortable, and it just makes you really miserable. I was so miserable after surgery. And also just because you go into surgery being super fit and just, and then you've had surgery and you feel like an 80-year-old person. Just, you can't do anything. You feel so sick. So the rest of the day I've spent in bed and watching some movies because I couldn't really sleep because I was too uncomfortable. I remember that the first night I could already lay on my side and my stomach. 10 years ago this was really different because when they were put in, I couldn't sleep on my stomach or on my side. I had to sleep on my back, and I can't. I'm really a side and stomach sleeper, so that was at the time really horrible. But when they were removed, I could instantly lay on my stomach. It was scary, but I could do it. I was really just doing everything really slow and try to be careful around the stitches. And I laid in bed for the first 4 days of my recovery. I could not sit up straight. I didn't have the strength to sit up straight for more than 5 minutes. So I stayed in my bedroom for the first 4 days. And the last day, I was so miserable. I've been really emotional, but the 4th day was the worst. Because I was like, I'm never going to improve. I'm never going to feel fit again and good. I couldn't even sit up straight for a long time. And then day 5 arrived, and I could sit up straight. And that was a day where I would go to the living room and I would get my own dinner because the 4 days that I stayed in bed, of course, my ex-boyfriend would give me food. So I could do my own things a little bit. I couldn't lift heavy, or I had to be careful with my body. But day 5 was such a turning point. And day 6 was even better. Day 7, I felt like I could do everything again. So I would say if you're going to do this surgery, 4 days, give it 4 days of intense rest. But you will get better faster than you would think, because they say that this surgery, the explant surgery, is a lot less intense than the implant surgery. And I can definitely say that that's true. After 2 weeks, I already went back to the gym and did my Pilates, because I'm obsessed with Pilates. And of course, I took things slow. But yeah, I could do everything again. I had my stitches removed after 2 weeks, and so I asked the nurse, like, can I go back to the gym? And they were like, yeah, you can do that. So I went straight to Pilates. And now it's been 25 days and I can do everything. They say 6 weeks is the recovery time, but I feel fine. I'm listening to my body, and my body is saying, go for it. I'm still wearing a sports bra 24 hours a day, also when I'm sleeping. And after 4 weeks, you can take this off. So I'm almost there, just a few more days. And then I don't have to wear this anymore. But I do have to start putting some vitamin E cream on my scar. Just to, make it heal better. So I will show you the scars that I have. If you don't like this, then close your eyes for a moment, okay? Because it can be a little bit in your face. But these are the scars. And I can show you 11 days after, which is what you see right over here. You can definitely see that they look pretty intense. They're pretty big. And then after 25 days, which is right now, they look a lot better. But yeah, it's going to take a long time for the scars to fade away. And vitamin E cream helps with the recovery of the body. But the scars, they had to be, cut open again at the same place, and they made it, the surgeon made it a little bit broader, so they definitely are bigger scars than when I got my implants in 10 years ago. And I don't really know why. I think it has something to do with the capsule, that they really have to check all the different areas, see if there's no damaged tissue. but they were placed underneath the half of my chest muscle, so dual plane is what that's called. So they were the half of my chest muscle was over the implant like this. And so they removed it. Scar is broader. Right now, I will show you a before and after footage. Before is 1 day before surgery, and after is today, so 25 days recovery. And as you can see, it's a big difference. Definitely the volume on the top area of my chest was a lot fuller, rounder when I had my implants. And right now I have a really humble size. They look pretty to me. I like them. I remember my breasts from before I got my implants. They're back again, and I am definitely giving them more appreciation and more love than before. Before I could just see what was wrong with them, and now I can see what's right. I can see why they are pretty and why I just have amazing boobs. So as you can see right now, there's not much left. I've been working out as well, so then they will get even smaller. And that's okay, that's fine. So the big question remains, do I regret getting my implants out? Not for 1 second is my answer. My breasts look a little bit beat up, a little bit like they've had a tough journey, and they did. But right now I appreciate my health over the little imperfection tweakings. I don't care as much about the little details of my body. I care about the general health of my body. And I feel like if you are a happy and fit person, and that's the prettiest that you can be. There's nothing more that you need to add if you're just healthy and happy with yourself. And that journey is beautiful, and I'm really happy that these are no longer in my body, because they were just making me anxious. I was just scared of plastic and foreign objects just being in my body, and now I don't have that anymore. So this was my Explant story. I hope that you can take something away from it, or just relax. That's fine too. Alright, so I wish you a wonderful day or night, and maybe have a really good night's sleep.